Plaintiff Cynthia McClenny says she was married to the defendant for 8 terrible years, and their life together was like a lifetime movie. Cynthia claims her marriage to the defendant was riddled with alcoholism, abuse, and infidelity, and Cynthia is suing today for child support. Defendant Antoine McClenny says when he first got together with Cynthia, she was not the type of woman he dated. Antoine admits that he agreed to pay child support and that his wages were even being garnished, but he stopped paying after he lost his job.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Ma'am, you're suing your ex-husband for $2,150 for back child support?
Technically, it's not really child support officially.
What is it for?
It is for, we were married 8 horrendous years. It was absolutely terrible. I'd actually rather have surgery without anesthesia than be married to him again.
Wow.
And, I mean, there was 1 week of happiness, you know, when we were separated.
1 week?
Yeah, because I had to go. Yeah, I had to go someplace, and he wasn't there. I was absolutely ecstatic. But I've been divorced from him for 2 years, and I have 2 kids. I have an older daughter, 18. She just came back from Japan. Both of them are very gifted. We have 1 daughter together. She's 10 years old. Her name is Christian. And I met Antoine about over 10 years ago at a friend's house, and you know, he's very charming, you know, and an upstanding citizen when he's sober. But my life with him read like a Lifetime movie. It included drugs, other women, for lack of a better word, because we're in court and on TV, alcohol, drugs, abuse, the whole gamut. And I had my 2 girls there in the midst of that, so I had no other choice but to leave. I go down there, I file child support charges against him, and they start taking out child support. Okay,
Let me hear from him a little.
Okay.
Go ahead, so you give me some background.
All right, you know what I'm saying? You know, it started off, you know, great in the beginning. Like she said, she's telling the truth. I did meet her through a mutual friend that I, you know, went to school with. You know what I'm saying? And 2 weeks to a month later, we went out. You know what I'm saying?
All right, what was that like? She acts like you were the boyfriend from hell.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we, you know what I'm saying, we got along fairly good. You know what I'm saying? I was, you know, I was in a previous relationship prior to meeting her. You know what I'm saying? Which went smooth at the time.
Nothing went wrong for you, huh?
Yeah. But what had happened was, Judge Honor, you know what I'm saying? You know, with dating
No, you ain't
her,
saying nothing. I don't know what you're saying. Keep talking about you know what I'm saying.
She wasn't,
you haven't said a word.
No, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't the type of person that I was really involved with at the time. You know what I'm saying? I liked her, but I didn't want to really marry her.
What were the problems?
What was the problem?
Let's get back to you, ma'am. Go ahead. Let's get to the child support you're suing him about, ma'am. $2,150. How does he owe you for that?
He you know, we had a mutual agreement that he would pay $200 a month.
First, let's go back to you obtaining an order for him to pay.
Right. I obtained
What year was that?
That was in that was in 2001.
How much was he to pay?
That was $200 a month, basically, because he got paid every week.
$50 a week.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And tell me about why you're here today.
Well, when that order was established, you know, we had a final incident. I was going to school to get my master's degree. He would never help me with the girls. I always had to take them with me. Well, this one time.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this one time, I was going out of the house to go to school. Now, he tells me, well, you know, I'm tired. I'm just going to stay home and go to sleep, he says. We have 2 vehicles. My vehicle, the lights don't work.
So what happens?
He comes out and approaches me, because this is a van. This is his hotel on wheels. And I'm telling him I'm going to take the van because I got to go to school. My car's
What do you mean
out.
hotel on wheels?
Well, you know, it's a van.
You
You
said
know,
had women in the back of the van.
I can't prove that,
Hold
Your
on,
Honor,
Judge
and I have
Honor.
no
That was a
witnesses.
family vehicle, Judge Honor.
Okay, but I couldn't drive it.
Yes, sir.
No.
But I couldn't drive it.
And she drove it whenever she wanted to drive it. You know what I'm saying? We basically had like 3 cars in the, you know what I'm saying?
And your favorite car was that van?
No, I mean, you know, I drove whichever one that was available at the time. You
His
know what I'm
favorite
saying?
car was
Whichever one
I
had
like
the
it
most
because-
room in the back.
No.
Exactly. So I'm coming out of the house. And Mr. McLean stops. He's like, you ain't going nowhere in the van. I said, what's the problem? You said you was going to stay here and go to sleep. The dude pokes me in my eye. And I'm like, okay.
Judge Honor,
My
she's
baby.
lying, Judge.
My baby, my oldest baby that was here when all of this stuff occurred, was like, she's like a rock rider. She's about, you know, and she's like this high. I'm like, no. Everyone go get in the car. No. I call my friends, the policemen. They go and take Mr. McClenny to his second vacation home at Virginia Beach County Jail. Then I had the child support order, so, you know, we're separated and
Right.
stuff. Every time he goes to jail, he becomes a minister. So when he comes back, home, he's like, Cynthia, I'm not on that narcotic. I'm trying to change. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, this is my daughter's father. I'm going to try to make it work. So we get back together. I cancel the order, Your Honor. Then he does some more clownish stuff and he goes back to jail. That's it. I filed for divorce. I successfully
When did you
get a divorce.
cancel the child support order?
The child support order was canceled back in 2006.
All right. So how are you? So you're suing him from the years of 06 through 09?
No, I'm not even going back that far. In 2008, when he came out of his vacation home, me and him talked, and I said, listen, me and you have to come to an understanding about
And what
Chris.
was that understanding?
The understanding was $200 a month. He signed, I signed. He said,
Signed
that's
what?
good.
Something from the court?
No, something between us because we didn't have a court order.
No. You can't do that.
I agree. So it's like a promissory note, just because he has selective amnesia, so I had to have something. I had to have something to prove that the man said he was going to give me $200 a month.
This child didn't know automobile. Well, you signed a
Yes.
promissory note to pay the car dealer.
I agree.
This is a
I
child. The judge has to say that's a sufficient amount of child support based on the father's income and based on the needs of the child. Sir, tell me about this child support back deal agreement you all made.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Again, Judge, Your Honor, you know what I'm saying? I had signed a promissory note. At that time, I was working, taking care of my daughter. She know.
Have you paid all of them?
Sir?
Have you paid all of your child support, sir?
No, you know what I'm saying? They was gonna share my wages. It was automatic coming out of my check.
That's what they do when you don't
Yeah,
pay.
so, you know what I'm saying, which I didn't have, you know what I'm saying, no problem with because, like I said, you know what I'm saying,
And then what happened?
I got laid off from my job.
Okay. Unfortunately, ma'am, this side agreement is not enforceable under the law.
Even if he signed it?
No, ma'am. You
Okay.
can't make a side agreement.
Well-
The judge has to order the amount to be paid. So you go back to the judge.
I actually have something else too, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
What's that, ma'am?
My daughter was signed up for cheerleading camp as well, and Mr. McClenny, and my daughter's here to be my witness for that, agreed to pay half of the fees, and he did not pay half of the fees.
You want to bring your daughter in? Your daughter's out and she wants to come in and make a statement? Yeah, a lot of men don't understand that just because you're not working doesn't mean you don't owe. That means that it aggregates as a past due child support bill that you will owe, an arrearage. Young lady, state your name.
Christian McClenny.
What you want to tell me today?
I want to tell you that I love my father very much and I don't want to get him in trouble, but he did say that he'll pay for cheerleading 2 times.
And he didn't?
No, I guess not.
Sir?
Well, I
Anything
gave
you
her-
want to say to your daughter about that?
You know, I think the uniform was, you know, it came up to $85. I believe I gave her $40 towards it.
All right, young lady, thank you. Your dad, he will pay at some point very soon, I promise you. All right? I'm glad you love your dad, and you should continue to love him. All right, thanks for coming in.
You did a good job.
Now, ma'am, unfortunately, I can't enforce a side agreement. Once again, you're going to have to go back to the court which has jurisdiction, file for child support. They'll grant you the amount that was ordered, or they'll assess an amount that they believe should be paid, and they'll grant you the arrearage. All right? Good luck to you. I have to dismiss your case today. Have a good day.
I love my daughter very much, and you know what I'm saying, I wish that she didn't have to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying, she's 10, still growing. You know what I'm saying, I know she's very smart and intelligent, but I feel like she shouldn't have been never drugged, you know what I'm saying, drugged into this matter.
I love him very much too, and I'm okay being a part of this.
I love you. Be okay, everything will be okay, all right? Okay.